Okay, we're back. All right, so now I'm going to show you a little bit how the workflow goes when you want to do the watch face. You can take any kind of 240 by 240 JPEG and convert it to one of these C array files, and I can explain how that's done in another video or something. But basically, you put those items in the source folder, and they're going to be included in the main code. And basically, we're going to start with the main C and the PRJ comp file. Those are pretty much the two main files you need to have. And what you'll see here is you got the PRJ, and you got the main C. Right. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show the workflow, how I compile it, build it, send it, flash it, the whole thing. So what you're seeing in the camera is the watch, and that's basically the two screens. You got the big one and the little one, I call them. And what we're going to change is the position of the date number that's in the window on the little one, on the black one, so it's a little bit easier to see. So we start out at 87. I'm going to drop this down to like 82 just to really make it stand out when we do it. And what I like to do is keep this type of folder structure where you have your main project name of the folder, and then underneath it is going to have boards, a build directory for whatever your target is. In this case, we're going to do the shell. If I was going to be using the IMU or the mic, I would build towards the sense directory. And then you got a source directory that's going to have your main C program in it, and then any other includes that you need, like for this graphics. And the make file or the make list, that's basically just going to tell it how to build and what to build, what to include in those targets. And then, like I said, the PRJ comp file, this basically is the project's configuration of all the different options, I/O, display, and then different libraries will have different options too that you can enable. So let's see. So what we'll do is we'll start here in this folder, and you can either do it in the nRF Connect, you can do it over here, or you can do it from the Explorer. Just for this purposes, I'll do it here, but I'm going to go over to the nRF folder, and I'm going to say open a terminal. That's going to be the first thing we'll do. Back over here. Okay, so now the terminal's open and it's in the working directory. And the reason you do this is it automatically sets up the environment for you. So you're able to build, and it finds all the paths. So the first thing I like to do is I like to remove any of the old stuff that's in the directory. So I'm using the up arrow key that has all the history of the keystrokes. So this is the first command, and it's basically remove the item, and it's going to remove anything from the build folder, old or leftover stuff. And, that only takes a second to do that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the actual build. And the build command is the West build command. You do a pristine always. The build directory is build shell. That's this directory up here that we like to use, the build directory. And you notice how it's gone because we did the remove, and it'll replace that once we build it. And so it's going to build it for this target, which is going to be the nRF54L15. The shield is the round display. They call it a shield, but that's the round display. The board root is where the boards live. The first file is in that Zephyr folder. And then you have the bootloader, different options for the bootloader when it's doing the build. And basically, we're not using any of that stuff. We're just going. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter on that. And this is going to run through and pick up all the options, do the makes. do everything but the flash, then the flash will be at the end. What you'll notice when we flash it is the date code, the date name will change. You'll see that number change. The position of it. I'm moving it. I'm moving it to 82, which is closer to the center. Right now it's at 87. So we're at 80, there, 813. All right, that's the date. So you'll see 81 and 82 are the two locations. After it builds it, takes it a few minutes to build it. You do get a warning about it not being the Zephyr format or whatever. This should be interrupt read, not void read. Doesn't matter. It's chunking along. Let's see where that 13 is on the screen there on the watch face. Watch how that position changes. What you'll see is it'll end up, when we flash it, it'll end up closer to the center. Where it is. Okay, so now that command's done. So now I'm going to do the actual flash, and that command is west flash. The directory is the build directory, and we're using the runner. It's going to be OpenOCD. And you'll notice also now there is a build directory up there for the shell. If we just take a quick look at that, that's all the stuff that's in there. And you'll see, even if we were to go look into the Zephyr folder here, this is where your merged hex, and that's the hex that's built as a result of the whole process. And it'll be flashed to the device when I hit enter. Flashing it to the device. And if you look at the watch face and watch where the 13 ends up when it finishes programming. Okay. Now, mind you, I didn't change the number for the big one, which is the green one. I changed the number for the blue one, which is considered little. So as soon as it switches, you're going to see the number is no longer in the proper date spot. It's every 30 seconds. So you should see the black will show it here. Yeah, see how it's not in the center anymore? Because I changed the number from 87 to 82. So now I'll walk it back over again. Right? And we can just modify it. So I'll come over here and I'll say, alright, let's move it to 84. So let's move it to 90. Let's make it 95. That should make it way off. I'll come back to the screen. I made the edit. See, I made the edit to 95. Right there. Alright. So now it's going to be way off. I'm going to come back down here. And all I have to do is up arrow and go through the same thing. I'm going to remove the directory. You'll see that thing disappear. Boink. Gone. Now I'll come back and do a build again. So it's basically a rinse and repeat. Open the project, set it up, make any edits you want, build it. A lot of times I'll open a basic project or a sample and I'll build it just to make sure it'll build. so you know you have a clean start. And then go and make your edits. And it's basically just repetition after that. Now there's a lot of build options, and there's a lot of nuance in the using the interfaces and the tools and stuff, but that all comes with doing it over and over. You started out with the blink, and then you move to the display, like the round display, for example. And you work with that, and you take that stuff and you move it over. This will demonstrate enough to let you see that once you set it up and use your commands, you can do it. I can do the same thing, and I can show it quickly in the nRF Connect too, and over on this guy over here. The nice thing about this Visual Basic Studio is you can add a lot of different extensions to use for different things. Okay, so that's built. So now we're going to just flash that again. West flash, same runner, boom, boom, boom. Now you're going to come over here and you're going to look at how it goes to the blue screen. You're going to see the numbers way off. It should be way to the right now. So there, it just finished downloading. You see it started. So it's going to take it 30 seconds. So when the red hand gets over here somewhere, it should switch to blue. And then you'll be able to see it. And then I'll put it back to 87, compile it one last time, and then I'll post it up. So if anybody wants to use this and play with it, feel free to do so. And if you have any questions, post them up. See now how the number's way off? And you notice I'm not pressing any buttons, I'm not resetting anything, I'm not removing anything. The shower is mounted to the back of the display, and that's pretty much it. The USB is plugged in. I have the brightness on the camera turned way down because you can't see the letters in the face. If I turn it on, it blasts you out. Let's see. Right? You see the back of it. I guess it doesn't blast out. Alright, so now I'm going to go back and I'll change this back to 87, which is what it's supposed to be in order to land in the center of that square. Come down here and just do a build. Do the remove first. You could probably skip that remove step. I like to do it just so I'm always starting with a known spot. Now I'm going to build. And you see the 13 is over to the right. It's like almost off the screen. So when this build and flash, now this thing will be right back in the center on the blue screen. Here we go. Okay, it's almost done building. And you get to notice it when it gets through the different phases where it's doing the configuration stuff and then it's doing the Zephyr stuff. And it's just mashing everything together. And here you go. Okay, so now we're in the blue screen. Got a good build. Like I say, I'll demonstrate it once at the end too, using the nRF Connect. Okay, and it's built. Let's flash. Okay, and now flashing. You'll see the display will change. When it's done flashing, choink, that's where it reloads it. And you notice this, the green screen, the numbers stay because I didn't change that value. That value says 81 at the top because these faces are just slightly different sizes. I don't know how that happened. I guess from the sources where I got them from. But now 87 is the actual good coordinates in the blue screen to put the black there. Now it's back to the correct spot. Okay. So now I'm going to post this up, and have any questions, feel free to ask. It's a lot of fun, looks good. It's a great display. That's the nRF54L15 Shao. Just the BLE version, that's not the Sense version. It's mounted up there. So next will be the touch. We'll get the touch to switch them so that when you touch it, it switches. Okay? Have a good one. Over and out.